Great.
All right, Mr. Abbott, my former softball teammate back in another lifetime. 24 hours, you don't even have to think about politics. What is a perfect day in the life of Neil Abercrombie?
Well, a perfect day has been virtually every day since this campaign started. Reporters, and it's the truth. And I think Duke put his finger on it as well. I expected when we got started to get into some kind of a situation. Oh my goodness, it'll be a grind, you'll get tired. It's been the exact opposite. I have more energy, I've been more uplifted, I've been more energized than ever in my life. And the reason is simple. People do want to change in the state. They want to go in another direction. They don't want to be demoralized. They don't want to have an idea of gloom and doom. They don't want to be in a situation where they can't look for the brighter day, to look for the light. So when someone asks me about it, I say it's been a great day. I'm the wrong one to ask. I can't tell you how the campaign's going because everybody's been so good to me. My wife says to me when I come home, don't tell me you've had another inspiring day. And the answer always is yes, I have, and isn't it great? Imua, Hawaii.
All right. And isn't it ironic? We gave them both a chance to answer a question without politics playing a single role, and they both brought it back to politics.
We can't get away.
Which brings us, interestingly enough, to our third interactive question, which, if you recall, was, have our two candidates tonight done a good job of answering the questions as they were posed? Because often people say, yeah, the debate was great, but did they really answer the questions? But I think thanks to the follow-up, we did get some answers. So going to our interactive question number 3, did they answer the questions? Give yourselves a hand. 72% of the people watching say yes, the candidates did answer the questions. All right, something they agree on. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, one final round of questions from our panelists and some closing remarks for the candidates. You're watching the race for Washington Place.
Everyone has stories to tell. Some stories teach, others inspire, and each story reveals who we are, where we come from, and where we're headed. Today, we share stories that deliver the latest in Native Hawaiian news, features, and events. Kawaiʻola, the living water. For your free subscription, visit oha.org/KWO or call 594-1835.
We are in the playground. We are in the classroom. We are in your neighborhood and your community. We are with you at work and at play. We are in the community center and the health clinic. We are advocates and environmentalists. We are OHA. Although you may not see us in your everyday lives, OHA's services, programs, and advocacy impact you and your ohana. We are the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, and we are here to serve you.
OHA helped us to build this structure, which is a modern version of a traditional practice.
With OHA's help, our patients can be empowered to live richer, fulfilling lives.
OHA helped me to set proper goals. Without the guidance, we might not be around.
And we're continuing the mission today.
And welcome back, everybody. We're coming to you from the Hawaii Convention Center in this race for Washington Place. We're just about ready to wrap things up, but before we get to the final comments from our two candidates, again, thank you both, and thank you to our panelists who each now have devised a question of their own, and each of the candidates will have 1 minute to respond. There will be no follow-up due to time restraints, and we're going to begin with Ms. Amy Kalili, and it will be addressed to Neil first, and then Duke.
Okay. As many of us know, Hawaii has 2 official languages, our Olelo Hawaii and English as well, and one of the great state-funded programs that has come from that is our Hawaiian Immersion Program. So, what would you say your position is on and or your plan to support and expand the Hawaiian medium education system within the Department of Education, not only as a means to revitalize the language, but as a viable culture-based approach to improving academic performance for our keiki in Hawaii?
The nature of the question literally could be its own answer, in the sense that you've pointed out the direction. I'm very pleased to say to you that this was something that has been recognized not just by Hawaiians, but recognized by all of the people of Hawaii. Because when the legislature first put in the immersion program and the Kapuna program, it was the effort of the entire legislature. I happen to be a chair of the Education Committee. Charlie Taguchi, former superintendent, was chair of the Education Committee in the House. So we were able to take this diversity in Hawaii that I have lauded this evening, which I think is the great foundation of Hawaii, and move on language education. Language is culture. When you master language, you master your culture. When you master culture, you master yourself, and that's the destiny of Hawaiians, to master their culture, their language, and all Hawaii will rise as a result.
56 Hawaiian-focused public charter schools, 3,600 students within those 56 schools. I think that's a testament in regards to where we need to go, but we're not there. I am a big proponent of uncapping this cap that we have right now in regards to charter schools, which include immersion schools. And I agree. I agree in regards to what it has done to not only revitalize our culture and our heritage here in Hawaii, but the renaissance that we have right now. So I am a big proponent of it. I will do what is necessary to make sure that it expands, and we have done that in this administration. We not only released the funds, but we also initiated and proposed and supported funding up at the University of Hawaii at Hilo for the programs that they have for Native Hawaiians, as well as the First Master's program for the Native Hawaiian language.
Thank you, sir. And the second question from Mr. Namuo, and it will go to Mr. Iona first.
Okay, gentlemen, you could not choose your running mate. That's something that the voters did. But can you share with us and the people at home some of the qualities that your running mate has brought to the ticket?
Thank you very much for asking that question, Clyde. I'd like her to stand if she can. She's right there with her husband, Peter Finnegan, as well as their 2 children. That's a quality right there. A woman who has a family, a working woman who gave that up to run in 2002 to make Hawaii a better place so that we could have the start to a true 2-party system. She brings with her 8 years of legislative experience, House Minority Leader. And let me tell you, in this state, being the House Minority Leader, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of strength. Because when you're 6 out of 51, it's a mighty challenge to wake up each and every day, and that's what Lynn Finnegan brings to the table.
Mr. Abercrombie?
Well, I had the benefit of knowing all of the candidates for lieutenant governor who were running in the Democratic primary. Very fine people, and I've been happy to have been associated with any of them. But when Brian Schatz emerged as a lieutenant governor candidate, I found someone who had been a legislator, someone who's been a chair of the Democratic Party, someone who chaired the Barack Obama campaign, someone who is in an ideal position to be able to go and search for those federal dollars, to be able to work cross-departmentally. I intend to have an administration that works horizontally, that works intra-departmentally to get rid of these silos that have ended up with things like furlough Fridays, ended up with things like positions not being filled, positions not moving forward in energy, not moving forward in education, not moving forward in health care. Brian Schatz is ideally situated to be able to end that. The day of the ceremonial lieutenant governor is going to come to an end with Brian Schatz. Brian, please stand up and take a bow.
Thank you both very much. And our final question of the night is from Mr. Sean Ching, and it goes to Neil Abercrombie first, and then Mr. Iona.
All right, thanks, Howard. Gentlemen, earlier this year, Governor Linda Lingle nominated Catherine Leonard from the Intermediate Court of Appeals to be the next Chief Justice of the Hawaii Supreme Court. As you both know, she was not confirmed. When there is another opening on the High Court, what will you look for in a Supreme Court justice? And how much weight will you give to the ratings of the nominees by the Hawaii State Bar Association?
As a former probation officer and an officer of the court as a result, someone who had to appear in front of judges both with respect to making recommendations and to executing decisions that they had been made in terms of responsibility over those on probation, and as someone who served on the Judiciary Committee and had to deal with questions of justices in the state legislature. The main thing that I would search for is judicial temperament. I believe that in some instances can be seen as something abstract, something academic, but I believe it's a real tangible quality and that some people have it. I'm sure that Judge Iona recognizes that as well. So that's the principal criterion. The criterion for me is judicial temperament.
Sean, since we're talking about the Supreme Court justices, this is something that I think the voters need to recognize. The next governor will appoint 3 of the 5 justices to the Supreme Court. I like the process that we have right now. It makes it open and transparent. I'm going to be looking for justices who have in their toolbox the ability to rule according to the law as opposed to legislating from the bench. What we need is justices who are not only going to follow the Constitution and the principles and the precepts of it, but also those who are going to, again, not legislate from the bench, and of course have that experience and that life experience and that ability to relate to the people of Hawaii. Because far too often, what I saw as a circuit court judge was the inability of some of our justices at times to not relate to life experiences and make that a part of their decision making.
Thank you, sir. And with that, gentlemen, the question and answer period is over. I want to thank our panelists, Amy Kalili, Clyde Namuo, Sean Ching. Thank you all very much.